Sometimes, man, I got to the age now. I said, man, I just don't know. I'm surrendering a different kind of way. I done did religion, and I done did everything. I done humbled myself, you know. And I was legitimately going to these jobs, man. They just don't like me. And the smarter I get, the dumber I become to my own community. How was that? That's one good stat, because I got $1 million, but I'm going to do it. Now, something got to be wrong. Or I'm not making $500. I'm making $250. Or I'm just doing better than the next person.
That's looking glass theory. She's perceiving him that he won't succeed as a lawyer because he's a young black man. Now, if we concentrate on teaching black men what's important at a young age, they'll grow up to be productive, because that's what's missing in the black community. Educating young black men to take back the black families and bring the black family back and make black people more productive. It could be solved, because I'm losing the
point in your life now, in a happy relationship, happy fitness, happy thoughts. Don't try to get psychologically cocky on this right here and try to seem like, because what it seems like, you try to belittle me, but I'm not going to let you do that. I'm not, even if I thought you do, or anybody besides God, you're not going to belittle me. Because whatever I know, I'm going to come up fighting and swinging and saying, it can sound crazy. It can sound any kind of way, because at the end of the day, this is my personal, thought about it. Until we can start, just like how we got higher education and we're moving forward. And I'm going in general now. Until we stop making grandiose moves, the situation we're going to stay here bickering at one another. And we're going to go on social media, and we're going to be out in public. And the powers will be saying, our plan is working perfectly. You don't have any right to question me about relationships. We can build one. We can't question about one woman. Tell me really about a woman. If you choose to deal with the woman or the like-minded woman, you do it. That's on you. Man, don't try to come rock my boat. Don't try to knock me down when I'm already down trying to build myself up. Me, not you. You don't have that antidote, bro. You're just a businessman that's been doing for 30 plus years. And that's how you breathe and you live on it, and that's where you earn that. But when it comes to success with nothing else, you got a couple of people that you've been around with that love and they're biased, they have non-bias towards you. I mean, I know I studied that, because one thing I do, and we all have a spirit of discernment, I just study people. From a street perspective, of being in the streets, to overcoming it, to working in corporate America, to relationships. So now I sit down peacefully and just spill the story. We get Negroes on here that want to come and try to so-called expose themselves because they deal with psychological low self-esteem.
Get out of your own head. Just make it exist first. You can make it perfect later. You can make it perfect later. And then at a certain point, I need you to recognize it ain't never really gonna be perfect. It really won't. It'll be great. You can improve it. It can be wonderful, but you have to release it. And I want us to release ourselves from this notion that, quite frankly, it has to be perfect first. That never happens. That never happens. That never happens. The challenge is, however, that when you're a perfectionist, or even if you don't identify as a perfectionist, but you are constantly in your own head, so much so that the beautiful, amazing, dynamic, wondrous, phenomenal things you are in your head toying with, the ideas, the concepts, the things that are burning in your heart that you just wish you could get out. The challenge is when they're all just stuck in your head, they sit there and they get bigger and they get bigger. It starts as a little idea, if you're like me. It starts as a little idea, a germinating seed of an idea, of a concept, and then the concept gets bigger and bigger in your own mind. And then the bigger it gets, Because it only lives in your mind, the more attention you're paying to it, the more details you're adding to it. And so the vision that you're creating in your head can sometimes become overwhelming and outsized for the mental space that you have to hold it. Jiminy Christmas on a cracker. This is going to be your problem. That you end up never producing it, and you live a life of regret of having never birthed this amazing, beautiful thing because you could never figure out how to birth it in a perfect state. Okay, let's do better. Get it out of your head, produce it, then make it better. And yes, I'm talking to myself as I look at my manuscripts.